morning, guys. Welcome to A&P1. I hope you all had a great weekend. As you came in, you saw on the smart board that you will be placed in different seating today. You'll be placed in groups today. So as you walked in, I hope that you referred to the smart board to sit in your correct groups. If you did not, then refer to it now and please move to your correct seating, the smart board, which is actually my computer. So to start class today, we are going to be talking about the skeletal system today. And if you check our state standards, that is state standard HAP LS18, and it states that we are going to identify the major bones within the axial and appendicular divisions of the skeleton, and that we are going to describe their roles in creating a body scaffold, and internal organ protection, and anchor points for skeletal muscles. And we're going to discuss all of that. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a brief introduction into what we're doing today. We're going to go through our lesson on the smart board. So go ahead and pull out pencil, paper, in your textbooks, and I'm going to go through a PowerPoint on the computer. And we're going to go through that, and then after that, we're in your groups. What you're going to do is I'm going to assign you a topic from our lesson today, and you're going to make a PowerPoint and go a little bit more in depth on that topic, and you're going to present it at the end of the class. So to kind of brief into our lesson, we're going to start by, I want you to discuss amongst yourselves. I want you to discuss what do you know about the skeletal system? Turn around to your partner next to you. What do you know about the skeletal system? What do you think it's good for? How does it apply to your life? And what is important about it? So talk amongst yourselves about that. Okay, awesome. Now I want you to talk amongst yourselves, and I want you to actually talk with me. Go ahead and bring up some topics. How does the skeletal system relate to past systems that we've discussed? We've discussed the digestive system. We have discussed the cardiovascular system. So talk amongst yourselves and decide how that relates to the skeletal system, and then we'll open the floor up for discussion. Okay, guys, now let's dive into our lesson. Make sure you have pencil and paper ready. We're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about the skeletal system. We're going to talk about what it is, and we're going to talk about what it does. And refer to the smart board. We're going to watch this video, and this is a little video on bone basics. Okay, so let's dive into the skeletal system, what it is. And again, all of this is in your textbook, and I will send you the link to this PowerPoint so that you will have it to study for your exams. The skeletal system is the body system, and it's composed of bones, cartilages, ligaments, and other tissues that perform essential functions for the human body. What do you think some of these essential functions are? So it's made up of two parts of the skeleton. It's made up of the axial skeleton, and it's made up of the appendicular skeleton. So let's talk about bones. Bones can be classified into five types of bones. Those five types, as we pull up right here on our PowerPoint, well, it's taking a minute. Those five types of bones are short bones, long bones, flat bones, sesamoid bones, and irregular bones, okay? So those are the different types of bones. Some examples of those bones are pictured here. Irregular bones are going to be your spinal cord, the bones in your spinal cord, things like that. You can also refer to those images in your textbook. So these bones have bone tissue, and this is also known as osseous tissue. That is spelled O-S-S-E-O-U-S, okay? It's a hard and dense connective tissue that forms the adult skeleton, and it's the support structure of the body. So basically, without this tissue, we would have no support. In the areas of the skeleton where bones move against each other, that is called, does anybody know? Joints, absolutely. And joints are made up of what? What tissue are joints made up of? Cartilage, yes. We have cartilage in our ears, cartilage in our nose, and all those places. They provide flexibility and smooth surfaces for movement, okay? So when you have cartilage, it allows your body to move. So I also want you to remember, as we are learning about our bones, and as I've prefaced at the beginning of the semester, it is so important to remember all of these things that we're discussing, because these are the things that you can carry with you for the rest of your life, and that you can remember about your body and how your body works and how it moves, and these are just things that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. So it's important that you listen. So we've talked about the 5 types of bones, the 2 parts of the skeleton. We've discussed tissue, we've discussed cartilage, and now we're going to talk about ligaments. So ligaments are composed of dense connective tissue, okay? And they surround the joints, tying skeletal elements together. So a ligament is the dense connective tissue that connects bones to other bones, okay? And make sure, and this would be up on the smartboard, that you're getting this down in your notes, because this will be on your test, all these different parts of the bones. So, and these bones perform functions. So there are 4 topics that we're going to cover today, what bones do, okay? Bones protect internal organs, they store minerals and fats, they form blood cells, they facilitate movement, and they support the body, okay? So now, in your groups, what I want you to do, using your textbooks and get your Chromebooks out, I've assigned you into 5 different groups, and you're going to cover these 5 different topics. So I've covered the intro to bones for you, and now what you're going to do is, in your 5 different groups, you're going to make a PowerPoint covering these 5 different topics of bone, and then I'm going to give you about 20 minutes. I don't have a watch on, but I normally do. I'm going to give you about 20 minutes, and you are going to present with the last 45 minutes of class time, okay? So the first half of class was me lecturing, me introducing the class to the skeletal system, and the second half of class is going to be the students preparing PowerPoint presentations on the topics of bones, and then they're going to present at the end of the class. So given the opportunity for inquiry learning, they're going to dive into that material themselves, and they're going to research it, and then they're going to present it to the class. As they're presenting their PowerPoints, I'm going to ask questions such as, and this is Bloom's taxonomy, so how would you define a bone? How would you define cartilage? Elaborate on the role of organ protection, elaborate on the role of bones in a body scaffold, elaborate on how bones release fat, why and how do bones play a role in movement, why and how do bones play a role in fat storage and making blood cells, how is the appendicular skeleton connected to the axial skeleton, make some connections there, analyze the skeleton. How would you suggest, if we were talking in medical terms, what would you suggest is wrong if somebody's spine is curved, what's going on with their bones and their skeletal system in that situation? How would you generate a plan to create increased bone density? So that's covering the topics of remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So I would give students opportunities to do all of those as they present their PowerPoints. They would be graded on the quality of their PowerPoints, and they would also be graded on their presentation skills and their group participation, how well they worked as a group. So I want each group, we're all in a circle here, each 5 groups are in a circle. I want you to take the group to your right, I want you to take their topic, and as a group, I want you to summarize it. Give me 5 main points about what you learned about their topic, and then we're going to present those as a class, as a group. You're going to present those to the class. So that would be what they would do. They would take the group to the right of them, and that group would, the notes that they took as their classmates presented, they would summarize that, and then they would present it to the class, just to kind of give a little, give me some affirmation that they retained. Not only, did they research their lesson, but they retained also what their classmates discussed. All right, y'all, now that everybody has summarized a different portion of their lesson, I would like for you to pull out your think sheets, go ahead and grab those. Since we've done group work the entire rest of the class period, we're going to focus this last part of the class period, this last 15 minutes that we have. I want you to pull out your think sheets, and I want you to, you can utilize your notes. You can utilize your textbooks. I want you to fill out those think sheets on your own, and I'll take those up at the end of the class. All right, does anybody have any questions on anything that we discussed today? Did anybody miss any part of their notes, etc., etc.? Tomorrow, we are going to be discussing the bones, and we're going to go on a little more of a microscopic level to see what's happening inside of those bones. And if we needed to extend the lesson. If anybody finished early, they can lengthen their PowerPoint presentation, add more detail to it. So if they were to finish early.